Hi, my name is Patrick Ycaro. I'm with NorCal Strength Studio in Los Gatos, California. We specialize in high-intensity strength training, everything metabolic conditioning. Today we have Jay Vincent. He is owner of Biofit over in Clifton Park, New York. He is a fitness model entrepreneur. Welcome, Jay. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, Jay, so how'd you get started in working out and your transition from maybe high volume to HIIT? Tell us more about it.
Yeah, so just like a lot of other people, I started training for sports, mostly football. I was big into football when I was in high school, and just need to put on a little weight, gain strength. It's kind of part of the tradition. If you play football, you train with weights. So like many other people experienced, very poor coaching when it came to weight training. Most people got hurt. Most people trained before practice, after practice. Overtraining was a problem. But then I played college football, continued training, and once I stopped playing college football due to injury, probably as a result of overtraining, I just wanted to continue. So, I was kind of a weight room junkie. I just loved to train. But, over the course of about 4 years, very little results. I probably graduated high school at about 180 pounds. The heaviest I got in college was probably about 190 pounds. So, after college, I just decided I thought I had the genes to become a fitness model. I thought I had what it took. And so I got a hold of an agency. They told me I needed to put on some weight, which was a shock to me. I thought I was in good shape, but they said I need to get more muscular. I need to get bigger. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I started doing the research, learning more about nutrition, about training. And at the time, I was doing high volume, 6 days a week, posterior, anterior muscle groups twice a week, and overtrained to hell. Thought I had sleep apnea. I was so tired every day, couldn't get out of bed. Then I stumbled across Doug McGuff's 21 Convention video on YouTube, watched the whole thing, and the light bulb went off. Made so much sense. Immediately after that, I watched Drew Bay's video, 21 Convention as well. After those two videos, they probably, they changed my whole perspective on training. So I started to research more high-intensity training. I adopted the principles, and within, about 3 to 4 short months, I put on 10 to 12 pounds of muscle, got leaner, spending less time in the gym. People began to ask me, what the hell did you do? And I began to tell them, and then it started turning into me just teaching HIIT.
Right.
And the rest is history. I turned it into a career.
Oh, nice. When did you start listening to Drew Bay and Dr. Doug McGuff? Because you seemed like you just came out of nowhere. Like the last few years, you're like, boom, Jay Vincent. You're just like out there now. Because I've been following HIIT since I'd say '94. And then your name came out. I was like, wow, where did this guy come from? And you come with the physique. It's like, wow. So how long was the transition from that, or how long did it take?
I started adopting HIIT principles in 2014.
Okay.
But the thing is, I didn't really get into the HIIT community until probably a year and a half ago. And it was probably my physique that kind of raised my popularity. I mean, I didn't even realize I was that popular even to this point. But it was probably a lot to do with my physique. And I think I have a fair understanding of the high-intensity principles and training principles. And, I think my physique, it gets a lot of following and people listen to me. It's that survivorship bias comes into play there. I mean, but I take advantage of it. I take advantage of it to get the right information out there. So, I have, I really try to avoid misleading people in any way when it comes to nutrition, supplementation, training. So I think it's a blessing to be able to get this information out of people and have them listen to it. Because a lot of times, a lot of the HIIT proponents, I mean, they're older gentlemen. They don't possess, unfortunately, a fitness model bodybuilding physique. And that's just the way our mind works. We chase those people with those physiques, and we think that they have some sort of secret. So what I'm going to do is use the physique to get the right information out there. So far, it's been a pretty good avenue.
Because currently, right now, I don't know if you saw my interview with John Hart. I mean, out of like the heavy duty hit guys, you and John Hart probably have, other than what's the other guy's name? The guy from Renex. He has a pretty good physique too. Joshua Tarantine. You guys actually have when you guys talk the talk, you guys can actually walk the walk. You guys have that physique to show for. And majority of the so-called hit experts, I'm not saying they're not. I'm sure strength-wise they're there, but it's just like they just look like regular guys. And
yeah, I mean they are regular guys, and you know we just, I mean me and the other guys were just somewhat genetic mutants.
Right.
I mean, and that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, we just hit the genetic jackpot, and we just respond differently.
Right,
you know, I wouldn't say better, differently. A lot of these guys are probably stronger than I am. I just muscular.
Oh, great. Okay, tell us more about your facility, Biofit, and the type of clients you have currently right now.
You know, most of the clients. So Biofit. I mean, it's you know, the 1,200 square foot studio. Simple. I keep it very basic, very distraction free. Almost clinical, but you know, still a little bit exciting. I carry a lot of Nautilus Nitro, Nautilus 2ST equipment, which I love. Yeah, I do a 6 to 8 exercise, maybe 9 exercise, full body workout each time. Most of my clientele, baby boomers, really. I mean, it's the people who've, you know, hit 40, 50 years old, and, you know, they feel they need to do something. That's what they always say to me. I fell off track. I need to do something. I need to get this back. So that's most of my clientele. But, you know, I train people as young as 10 and as old as 75. I have a client with MS, a client with Parkinson's. You know, it's all over the board. Nice. So because I just believe this type of training can help anybody in any situation. What I'd love to do is get some more athletes, but they're so indoctrinated in the functional fitness bullshit that it's really hard to get them into here. Right. But I've had a couple of people, you know, my age, women my age, and they just, you know, they have the age advantage, and they just perfect. I mean, I had a woman come in,
dude,
and she's down to 9 fat. She's training twice a week, following a plan out of time. So, you know, it works for everybody. It's just harder to get into that.
Oh, okay. Now, getting back to your Parkinson's MS client, like me, for example, my client Jerry finally came back after like a year being away, and I asked him, "Hey Jerry, how are you doing?" He said, "I'm not good." So he's in it 5 workouts now, and the first few workouts still trying to figure out where he could hit like muscular failure. So last week we actually on the leg press. That's all he does with me for now is the leg press. He got up 315. He failed at 12. He failed at number 12, and you know, just making sure his cadence and turnarounds are nice and smooth, kind of like recommended by Dr. Doug McGuff. He hit 12 last week. This week he came back and he hit 16. He failed at 16 plus 1/4. But last week when he did it, he was wasted. My buddy Gabe was with me. I said, "Hey, is this guy gonna be okay?" I go, "He'll be fine." But it took him a while to recover from that because that was his first true muscular failure since he's gotten back. Tuesday when he did it, he was wasted. He failed at 16, which is 4 more than the previous week. And he recovered that much quicker. I mean, aerobically, he was able to recover faster. And I mean, this time around, I did not have to grab his leg and put it on the leg press. He actually had enough strength to lift his leg and put it on the machine. I was looking like, wow, you know, it's amazing. So what kind of response does your Parkinson's MS clients?
So my MS client, I think we've done 3 training sessions.
Yeah, it's cutting off.
What do you use for your MS client? Are you using MedX?
I'm using my Nautilus. It's a power plate. It's not a power plate. Nautilus. What do you call it? Power Plus. Power Plus.
Is that a plate loaded?
Yeah, it's plate loaded. Yeah, it's plate loaded.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I use the Nautilus Nitro for them, and so far, what I'm doing in the beginning is using lightweight and helping him develop his neuromuscular coordination to be able to perform a leg press, because all those sort of motor unit ability to control his muscles in his legs is completely shot. So what I'm trying to do is get him to become more coordinated again, be able to perform the movement slowly and controlled, and then I very, very, very slowly add weight. So what he's doing is he's able to perform the movement better. But, as far as the upper body machines go, he has a lot of, his legs are shot, but his upper body is still mobile and pretty good. So I'm pushing him pretty good on the upper body, and his strength is improving tremendously. So far it's kind of early to tell, but my Parkinson's client, came in, she wasn't able to move out of her wheelchair, and now she can walk with her wheelchair, which is, it's not, unfortunately, I told them, there's a good chance she'll be able to walk again, and I think they expect this in like 3 months, but, we got her walking, assisted walking, but, on my Nautilus Nitro machine, she's leg pressing 130 pounds slowly, which is impressive because I have some new clients come in and that feels heavy for them. So, it's, like I said, I just think this is an extremely good method of improving all aspects of health, and especially with these conditions where people are afraid to train, people are afraid to even move. I think getting them in here and allowing them to feel some resistance even builds their confidence to be able to try more physical things out in the real world. So I've noticed that she's more susceptible to, or more motivated to even attempt walking now, when before she was afraid to get out of her chair. And the MS guy, he's not afraid of anything. He goes for it. So, I've so far seen great success with the Parkinson's, and I expect to have great success with the man with MS as well. Hope to change his life.
Now, those particular clients, do they just come in once a week or twice?
The Parkinson's client came in once a week. The gentleman with MS is coming in twice a week, because I'm really not accumulating a deep level muscular fatigue overall, because he's, it's a lot of work for him to get in and out of his chair too, even with my assistance. Right. So we're only doing 4 exercises, including the abs. And I'm trying to, create a stimulus, but not something that's going to ruin him for the rest of the day. So what I view that as kind of chipping away at it a little more slowly than a traditional client, just because of his condition. So I do have him coming in twice a week, and one workout we'll do a horizontal press, the next workout we'll do a vertical press, then a vertical pull and a horizontal pull. Kind of hit, a little different angles, but pretty much the same exercise, the same muscle groups. Very, very short. And I also do, rather than 1 set to muscular failure, I do usually about 2 sets, close to muscular failure for now, just so he can adapt and learn how to do the exercise properly and really understand what the tension is supposed to feel like and get him used to it. Then in the future, when he gets better at the exercises, then we'll push for 1 set to muscle failure. But I did the same thing with the woman with Parkinson's. Multiple sets is something I utilize because people in those conditions, especially a lot of these people haven't, really worked out before, so they don't know what a deep muscular burn is supposed to feel like. So I have to gradually introduce it to them and get them used to it.
John Hart said the same thing, in line with your philosophy. When he gets like new clients, he'll pretty much have them do two sets just to get them involved and know how the body moves and how to feel. So that's a great idea. Now, us bringing hit in terms of for MS, Parkinson's, it's actually great, because a lot of these hit blogs or hit guys are talking about the efficiency of the workout, how much they can press, and I think, like you, for example, it's great that we're all able to bring the efficiency of a hit in terms of like Parkinson's, getting these people nice, strong, getting diabetes out of the, getting it almost gone from certain clients. Do you have any experience with diabetes clients as well?
Yeah, because a lot of these people, they have the genetic predisposition to diabetes, and then they eat, a diet high in refined sugars over a long period of time. They're just insulin resistant to hell, and in my experiences, really training the muscles in this intensely and developing this deep level of muscular fatigue is really improving their insulin sensitivity. And I had two diabetic clients, and over the course of training, a few weeks or so, they were able to administer less insulin because they were becoming more insulin sensitive. So I definitely think it's an absolutely outstanding method of combating that sort of disease. And but for the most part, I'm not getting too many of the chronic illness or people with sort of disabilities clientele, because again, I think they're afraid, because even this morning actually, I had a client who's not going to be coming back for a little while because what did they say? She has fatty liver. And the doctor told her not to exercise. Fatty liver is a side effect of obesity caused by chronic inflammation and chronically elevated insulin levels, which training is a direct, I would say, cure towards that. So the advice given by doctors is kind of hurting these individuals with these chronic illnesses and disabilities, because they're afraid to work out, because the doctors, they don't know a damn thing about exercise. So if we could get the doctors on board and get them to understand how beneficial this is as a sort of treatment and holistic treatment towards their conditions, then we would get a lot more people like this, and we'd be able to help a lot more people. But unfortunately, we have these old school doctors who they recommend walking as exercise. I don't consider walking exercise at all whatsoever. So I would love to see more of these people, but I think that's the result of why we're getting the baby boomers, because they're the people who are fed up with their physique and fed up with feeling like crap. But I mean, it would be beautiful to see more of these people with disabilities and chronic illnesses in here.
Yeah. And you said you work with children. Right now, I'm currently working with 11 and 12-year-old children, and I don't quite take them to muscular failure. I'll probably have them go like 2 sets, but very controlled, just making sure the muscle under tension. How do you cope with that? Dealing with children about that age group?
With children, I most of the time have them do 2 sets as well. What I do is I have them do a lighter set, focus on controlling the weight, focus on keeping the muscles under tension, good turnarounds, keeping good posture, shoulders down, elbows where they need to be. And then the second set, I say, okay, I'm going to raise the weight a little bit. It's going to get a little heavier. But let's get after it. I try to motivate them. So, towards the end, when it starts to get heavy, their body language says it all. And I try to make it a little game with them.
Right.
I say,
I
I say, come on, buddy, you got this. Let's try to get a couple more. And, just encourage him through, kind of like as if you were to motivate a puppy. Like, you just kind of like, you get excited for them, and then they turn it into a game. They turn it into play. And once it becomes a game, once it becomes play, then they're able to push themselves how far they can, because they want to show you that they can do it. So I've had a ton of success with younger people, because they view this as something fun. They view it as a game.
Right.
When older clientele, they view it as just a work and a big pain in the ass and something they have to deal with for the day. So it's fun. It's fun to train children. But again, parents think that their children are going to get hurt. So I mean, they don't. I have a couple of younger clients who are just. One in particular, just training to develop some self-confidence in himself. And I think the cognitive improvements and the mental improvements hormonally, and with your endocrine system, the endocrine system improvements as a result of training, I think is great for children who have self-esteem issues and things like that. So, and then the other one is trying to get stronger and better for a sport. But yeah, for the most part, I think that's another demographic I'd love to nail. But you've got to show people the benefit, and so far, I don't think high intensity training has the
appeal,
the popularity. It doesn't have the popularity to show people this, because when people think resistance training, they think of slinging a kettlebell over your head, and that looks dangerous. So they don't want to have their kids in that. You have to throw their kids in tackle football, which is probably even worse. But yeah, so far that's my experience with the younger clientele, and I hope to see plenty more of them.
Well, in terms of functional training, that same kid I'm training right now, the dad stopped me. Hey, can you train my son all this jumping, explosive movement. I go, look, I don't do any of that stuff. My job here is strengthen your kid. If you want to, you can do it on your own, but I refuse to put your kid in that situation where you put, the kid's 12 years old. You might blow out his tendon, even though they're pretty resilient, but still, I refuse to do that. When you have some of these trainers having them stand on one platform and jumping over to another platform in terms of think it's going to create explosiveness, it's ridiculous. I tell them, no, the only way you can do that is you fatigue those slow twitch fiber and actually get to those fast twitch. That will create the explosive power movements.
Yeah, like, box jumps and even I was watching a video of Reggie Bush, a football player, doing agility drills on the beach, and I'm thinking, like, dude, like that's a neuromuscular adaptation that you're developing for sand. That's not gonna carry over onto grass with cleats, helmet, shoulder pads. It's a completely different neural pathway. So it's like these people are training in conditions that are harder than their current condition, with the erroneous assumption that it's going to carry over into their competition environment. And but the thing is, the children and the coaches see the professional athletes doing this, and they think since they're a professional athlete, they must know what the hell they're doing. So then they adopt it. When I was training for football, we did box jumps and we did, single-legged squats were okay. But geez, if we got out a leg press, we could have gotten to the point much quicker, much more safely. But all the agility drills, I guess maybe serve some sort of purpose, but I really don't think like doing the ladder or doing the icky shuffle through an agility drill as fast as you can is going to make you a better football player, a better soccer player, a better basketball player. I think, that sort of explosive coordination, I think it's somewhat genetically inherited, and how to implement it into your sport is just through practicing your sport. Because but it's tough. It's tough because you got all these coaches, and we as a community have to overcome this crap. And unfortunately, we don't have professional athletes doing high intensity training. If we could get a few more, I think we'd be out there pretty quickly.
Talking about fast twitch fiber and genetically being inherited with fast twitch fiber, is there any way? I think I heard Drew Bay say something that you can actually. I don't know if I don't want to quote him. Can you recruit more? You cannot turn a slow twitch fiber into a fast twitch fiber. That's just impossible, right?
Well, from what I've read and heard, you somewhat can, and I'm not sure if it's so. If you're, for instance, 70% slow twitch fibers and 30% fast twitch, whatever, intermediate, somewhere in there, I don't think you can completely flip it over and become a predominantly fast twitch person.
Right.
But I forgot who I was reading, but there does seem to be some sort of change that can occur from slow to fast twitch. But even so, if you're training your fast twitch fibers effectively, your nervous system is going to close fast. So I think someone who gravitates towards endurance sports and is very lean, thin, long distance runner, I don't think you're going to turn them into a sprinter or an NFL running back, but I do think you can make them faster just as well as you can make someone who is fast twitch like myself more endurance oriented. I was a state champion track runner, and the furthest I could ever do was a 400 meter sprint, and I would die out by 300 meters, but through practice I was able to go the whole way. So that's about as far as I think the change can happen. I couldn't become a mile runner. Like, there's no way that's going to happen. But yeah, it seems to be that there is some literature that suggests there can be a change, but I don't think the changes can be significant.
Right. Now let's talk about you. What is your current workout right now? Do you still train once a week? Do you split routines, or do you even use free weights at all? It's froze, dude. Oh.
So for the past 2 months, I've been so damn busy. I've been doing just a full body workout once every 7, 8, 9 days or so, and more as an N=1 experiment too, because I always train about 2 times a week. I would say
3 times every 9 days, something like that. So simply because I wanted to do as much exercise as I could get away with, because I enjoyed training, even though I don't think I was getting better results for training more frequently. So what I did in the future was I decided to lower the value even further and train more frequently. But as of late, I've been doing just a full body workout, horizontal press, horizontal pull, and vertical in each direction as well, along with legs, once every 7 days. And I didn't lose any weight or any strength. Just to sort of prove to myself that I didn't really need to do a split routine, even though I sort of more enjoy them. So if my life can accommodate a split routine, I would do it just for the love of training. Even though my training sessions are downright brutal and nauseating, I still enjoy doing it.
I saw that video.
But right now, so busy, the full body, once every 7 day routine is it's working for me. So I do a chest press, a row, a pull down, an overhead press, leg curl, leg extension, leg press, and something for the biceps and triceps. And then every now and then I'll do a heel raise to failure. And I feel the heel raise doesn't need to be done frequently at all, because I noticed that when I do them maybe once every 2 weeks or so, I feel like I get an insanely good response from them. So, then kind of pay attention to the smaller muscle groups. But do I think a bicep exercise is necessary? No. Do I think a tricep exercise? So I throw them in there. And normally it's just, a Nautilus 2ST curl machine and just some sort of tricep push down or something like that. One set to failure. I don't go too crazy.
Okay. What about nutrition? How do you keep your body in such lean? I know you're probably try to keep it under striking distance, because I know you're a fitness model, so you always got to, just in case you get that phone call from Versace or Gucci, hey John, you got to come down. Or Jay, you got to be on point here.
Yeah, and I've talked about this before on another podcast, and the truth of the matter is, I pay attention to my nutrition, but I don't go wild. Basically what I do is I'm kind of a picky eater. So I eat relatively the same thing, and it's grilled chicken. I'll put some sort of seasoning on it. It's mostly sweet potatoes and green beans, eggs, whole wheat bread now and then, lots of peanut butter, and that's it. I mean, there's really nothing else. And then a black iced coffee or black hot coffee and water. That's it. And it's not because I do it because I want to maintain a good physique. It's because I do it because I don't really care for food that much. I don't need to experiment, dude. I eat food to live. I don't live to eat. So, and the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't need to try very hard to stay in shape. I've eaten like shit for weeks, and nothing changed. I probably just grew more muscle. Wow. So the thing is, if you're going to become a fitness model, you need to have the genetic advantage of staying lean and muscular all year round, no matter what you do. There is a small population who can do that. And what I said on the other podcast is, if I think I needed to count my calories and watch my nutrition so closely to be a fitness model and be ready for that call, I wouldn't do it, because I'm only getting a couple calls a year, because I don't care to do it. I do it because it comes, but I would never, adopt such a strict nutrition protocol to maintain that physique. The physique I maintain is done with very little effort, and it's just eating
genetics,
some healthy whole foods. I really don't eat that much refined processed crap, because it makes me nauseous. I don't eat it because it makes me feel bad, not because I want to have a six pack. And training infrequently and briefly, and the result is this phenotypic expression right here. I don't work that hard for it. That's the truth. And I follow very basic nutrition and just high intensity principles, and this is what happens.
No cardio, huh? No cardio at all. Zero cardio.
Oh my God! I barely want to walk to my car, let alone get on a treadmill. Couldn't imagine. Like, I get frustrated when I have to take my dog for a walk to take a shit. I'm not going to go jogging. Trust me. The cardio thing, man, I could rant about the cardio thing till I'm blue in the face. It is something that just drives me up the wall. So yeah, absolutely no cardio ever. I'm not a cardio guy.
Me too.
I can sprint, but if you catch me jogging, then I have to go to a mental institution because there's something wrong with me.
What do you think of pre-workouts?
Bullshit. I think they're stupid. Like a pre-workout, and that's the thing. The supplement industry, they've targeted insecure men and insecure women to think that this $50, powder it's just powdered caffeine with a bunch of other crap in it. If I need a pick me up before a workout, I just get a small coffee. Like, that's all you need. I think so. I think it's all crap. And a lot of people ask me the same thing. Like, oh, well, what do you do for pre-workout, post-workout, intra-workout? When you're thinking about working out, what do you take? It's bullshit. Nothing. None of that stuff's gonna make a difference. I was sponsored by Muscle Tech. I got $500 a month of free supplements. I just stacked them up and gave them to the friends and family who thought they worked. I never take that crap. The only things I take are an omega-3 or fish oil supplement, vitamin D. That's it, pretty much.
Creatine?
And
creatine? No.
Correct.
No protein powder.
Creatine. Nope. Because what I've also noticed is, I've done experiments with this stuff, and for 6 months I've done the protein shakes, 2 protein shakes a day, getting 50 or 60 grams of protein. I've been, a gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. And then I did 6 months or so where I was hitting half of that. No difference. It may be due to my genetics, but I have not seen a difference which justifies spending the money or tasting that nasty crap. I haven't seen a noticeable difference that justifies wasting time or money doing that. And I literally don't believe in any supplements besides your basic vitamins or micronutrients that you may be deficient in, which I think people should just get through food anyway. I think because a lot of these people who rely on these supplements, they just don't have the genetic predisposition to getting the type of physique that they desire. And I think the supplement industry knows this, but they'll keep trying and trying and trying and trying and buying and buying. So they keep coming out with the same shit with a different name, and they're making billions of dollars off of it because people are never going to give up on that. But yeah, as far as supplements go, yeah, nothing. And again, they're so filled with crap. Every time I would take one, I would feel sick. It ruined my workout. So,
what time's your next session?
Got about 6. Yeah, we got time.
All right. Ace, so I watched your podcast with Lawrence Neal, and one of your big plans is to push HIIT. And that's a great idea. How are you going to get this going? That's why I'm creating this YouTube account, and, interviewing A-listers and no-listers pretty soon. Just, get their experience, their response to the HIIT workouts. So what are you going to do in terms of pushing HIIT into the community?
What I'm trying to do is leverage my fitness modeling experience and my physique.
Nice.
It's catching, but again, I find it very difficult to undo this conditioning that people have become. These people have become conditioned to look at fitness a certain way, and it's very tough to undo this thinking. When I have a client, I sit down with them for an hour, and everything I tell them makes sense, and they're convinced, they get it. But to spread this to the masses, it's tough. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to record workouts. I'm trying to also record, some demonstration videos and stuff, but what I'm going to try to do is attack social media a little more, but try locally just to, I plan to open, a few studios and try to provide this service, even if, the entire world doesn't know about HIIT. If we can provide this service, this extremely useful, beneficial service to as many people as possible, that's good enough. HIIT's not going to be in Men's Health. Dorian Yates might be, but his version of HIIT is very, very different than my version of HIIT. So, I don't know if I'll have a chance at spreading this across the world, but I'm going to try to get it in front of as many people as I can and help as many people as I can with this, whether that's 1 million people or 100 people or 1,000 people. I don't care. I'm just going to try my hardest just to get it out there as best I can. So far, do I have, a structured plan of how I'm going to reach 1 million people? No, but I'm just going to keep chipping away at it and try to show as many people as possible and leverage my physique and my modeling career towards that. Because if that's going to help it, fine. I think it's a good tool, but I'm not going to tell people HIIT made me this way. That's one thing I really try to get across is that, I don't say, I developed 18-inch arms doing curls once a week. No, you can't do that. So that's one thing I'm trying to avoid as well. Just get the right information out there. That's all I'm trying to do.
Now, you work for Andrew Zimmerman. Andrew Zimmerman from Inform Fitness?
Yeah, Adam Zickerman down at Inform, yeah.
Zickerman. Now, how is your protocol different from his, or it's pretty similar? Because I know he's more of a super slow type guy, right?
Yeah, he does more super slow. I don't like super slow. I started off doing super slow, but I found that it doesn't, for some people, they're not able to contract their muscles as intensely doing super slow as they could if they organically found their own cadence. So basically what I look for is, as much reduction momentum as possible, smooth turnarounds, and them contracting the muscles as hard as they can. Sometimes that's 3 seconds, sometimes it's 7, sometimes that's 8. But for the most part, I instruct my clients 5 to 10 seconds. And I normally don't count for them or anything. In the beginning, down at Inform, we would count for them. But, I think 10 seconds is too slow. I think it's great for elderly people.
Right, exactly.
But for most people, I don't think it's the best way. I don't think there is a best way. I think allowing the client to find their cadence organically is the best way. Some people may be faster, some people may be slower, but as far as the structure of the workouts go, not much different than Adam down at Inform. He does have, tons of equipment. So he has, modified hip abduction, modified MedX row with good cam drop-offs and stuff on it. So, with his equipment, you can provide a hell of a workout, but, it's very similar to what he's doing, just without the whole super slow thing. When I was down there, I didn't do super slow. I did what I did. So that's one thing I've gotten away from in the past year or so is the whole super slow thing. I'm just not a fan of it.
I remember trying super slow for a good 2 to 3 weeks. If anything, I just lost size. It was so annoying, but I had to give it a try. I need to know what it was like. And just like John Hart in my interview with him, he said, yeah, I lost size. I lost size. And it's like, it was just such a slow pace.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
if you're lifting a heavy enough weight, you can't move it quickly anyway.
Right.
So, so choose an adequately heavy resistance, and the rest will take care of itself, I think. If by the last couple reps, I'm, on a compound or something, I'm pulling as fast constant form and be a 10-second rep until I reach failure or get through the entire range of motion. But I try not to spend too much time on, how long the repetitions are. Just good turnarounds with as little momentum as possible. Make the muscles do the work. That's what I tell my clients.
All right, so here we're coming to an end. What can you tell our audience or HIIT fans why they should drop all that nonsense workout and do HIIT style?
Because you're going to have a lot more time to do things that you love, and you're going to be wasting a lot less time spinning your wheels for results that may never come.
How can our audience find you? Where to find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. It's Jay Vincent. Instagram is J__Vincent. I've been posting some, pictures and videos there for HIIT as well. Or you can visit my website, biofitny at biofitny.com, or email me at biofitny@gmail.com.
Right on, Jay. Thank you so much for the interview. Hopefully we can do it again. And
thank you, Pat. Anytime.
Hopefully you'll be this big next time, huh? 5 chains.
Yeah, maybe I'll start watching my calories or something. But I'm roughly 195, 196 right now. I'm happy where I am. I'm good.
I'm 193, but I don't look anything like you, all right? So
is. That's how your body expresses, its genetics. That's just how it is. We can't spend too much time worrying about it.
You're right.
We got to stop looking at the magazines.
All right, Jay. Take care, bud. Thank you.
All right, Pat. You too. Thank you.